Hey there, craftykins. Welcome back to my channel. Today I was gonna do some just like background paper decoration, like collage fodder kind of stuff. You'll see what I mean as we go along. But I have a couple of techniques I was gonna work on today and thought, hey, I'd turn the camera on and see what comes of it. We'll see. But I've got some tea over here for some tea staining. This one is an Earl Grey that's like amber colored. I'm hoping for some like honey drops out of that. And this is the Tezo Passion Tea, which will give me obviously some very good pink color. And this is just like for drips and maybe painting on. I have never done that. I've done drips but not painting, so we'll see about that. Normally I'll put it in like a cookie sheet or I guess baking pan, and so I can submerge a whole piece of paper. Anyway, I've got a stencil here. I can't find the rest of my stencils, but we'll see. I might use this. I've got some paints and stuff over here. I'm also gonna do some stamping and who knows what else. Well, I'm just in the mood to get creative and maybe a little messy. So I might break out my my gouache paints as well. They've been neglected and have kind of dried out a lot, so I'll need to spray some water in there, but I might get some of those going. But yeah, I might do some voiceover as I go to explain some things, but yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I did was some tea staining, and I noticed right away this packaging I was using, I don't know if it's because it was so thin or what, but it was spreading out quite a bit, as you can see, and I knew it wasn't going to be that really concentrated, nice drip pattern that I like, so I didn't do too much of that. And I moved right on to acrylic paint. And I like to use like a credit card, or this was a junk mail, HelloFresh, come back and we'll give you tons of free food. That's not actually free. Those are perfect for paint, paint scraping, I guess you could say. And this is by far my favorite way to spread paint around a page. It has a cool texture, and also it's fast, easy, and not messy at all. You know, you have quite a bit of control over it. And so I did a little bit of that, and then I whipped out this stencil. I just used a paper towel to blot on the paint, and I don't know, I just felt like stenciling takes such a long time, doesn't it? I don't know, it just took like, it felt like it was taking forever. And so I cut some of this out a little bit, so you don't have to, even 8 times sped up, wait that long. I definitely know, you know, you have to kind of go at it with less paint on whatever instrument you're doing. In this case, paper towel. If you go in with too much paint at once, it'll, you know, it can run underneath the stencil, which is why I usually have trouble. But I don't know, I don't have the patience. I like to get lots of paint on there so it can stretch a long way, and then my stencil doesn't turn out very good, so then I'm frustrated. And if I go really slow, then I'm frustrated. So I don't know. I'm not a stencil kind of person too much. I haven't hit the sweet spot with that. But here I'm just using up the rest of my paint by just blotting it with just that same paper towel onto a couple other papers. I liked that dark brown because it kind of looked like, you know, dark coffee or something. So yeah, I just used up the rest of that paint on a couple other sheets. And now I'm going to use a paintbrush. And I just did like a diagonal design, and then I flipped it around because you could tell like up close where the paintbrush was started, and I didn't want every single line to be, anyways, that's why I flipped it around. And then this pink paint is very pearlescent and pretty, so I ended up putting that, basically coating the whole thing with that pink paint. Looking at it now, it kind of looks like a gender reveal party or something. It's got the pink and blue. soft colors, but what can you do? It's pretty still. And then I liked it so much, I did a second one. And my son came in here. So you see his little hands on the background. And he was also pointing out spots that I had missed. So good helper. Then I pulled out some makeup sponges from the back of my closet. I never have really used these, so I don't know why I even have them anymore. But I just use those as stamps here, making some rectangle slash almost squares and some triangles here in a little bit. Then I accidentally dipped my finger into that peachy paint and I improvised there a little bit. And then here, like a happy accident happened too, where some of that pearlescent green was mixing in with that mulberry color, and then I really liked it and started adding more green to the rest of it. So it's almost like kind of tie-dye-y. Now I am going to use some bubble wrap, which I mentioned in my last video of like free things you can use for journaling. And so I wanted to kind of demonstrate that here. I was trying to do like the lift technique, but I don't know, it didn't work very well. I still got some texture there, but you can't really tell it's bubble wrap kind of texture. But I really liked laying it down on the other side there where you could really see the circles. Looked kind of cool. Back to the tea. I'm just sort of painting this whole little scrap where I ripped paper like an animal. And now we're going to do some more makeup sponge stamping. This time on the side where there's like a triangle shape. And my little sidekick will be back here in just a minute. Crafty things are just too fun to resist. Some more like credit card scraping here with a couple of different colors. And then, you know, they're kind of bold colors, and I use some white to kind of tone it down here, which is a nice effect. Now I'm using modeling paste and mixing in some white acrylic. And I'm going to use my stencil here again to get some texture. Now, this is my kind of stenciling because it's a lot faster and easier, I guess. But it does take a long time to dry. I mean, relatively. It's not like overnight or anything, but it's a nice effect. So now I'm moving on to some stamping, and I spent the most time on this because I just got carried away. I love stamping. I have a big collection of stamps I've been slowly accumulating over the last, I've gotten some of them like 10 years ago, but over the last year and a half, I've gone a little nuts with stamps. And so this was just really fun. I did a lot of patterns like this where it's just fill up the paper with stamps. This one had the most kinds of stamps in it, but I just love how it looked, and I think it's going to be really cool to be able to, rip off any piece of it and have lots of detail and interest. I kept thinking, this last one I'm selecting, that's going to be the last one. There's not going to be any more room left. And then there was room and I'd have to get another one. Repeat, repeat. But now this stamp set I've had forever and I never use it. But they've got like this, deck of cards kind of symbols, the spades, hearts, diamonds, and clubs. And so I wanted to kind of do a repeating pattern with those. And I really love how it turned out. I love that diamond one, actually. I use that one here on the next paper too because, I don't know, I think I'm going to use that a lot. I might like actually keep it out on my desk to keep around because it's a nice little detail stamp. Yeah, and I just did a whole paper. That's deli paper there. I did a whole paper of that. And then this is a floral stamp that I went crazy with as well. Here I'm just showing that is the paper that I had tea stained earlier. I'm going to stamp on that one. I mean, this is good for like wrapping paper or just like little things to send your pen pals to use in their journals. And this was the one I painted the tea stain on earlier. This is that little scrap again. And I'm just using one stamp for this. So if you just have one stamp, you can do this. Really easy project. And I really love the effect. This one I couldn't decide how I wanted it to go. If I wanted the bunnies all to be upright, if I wanted them to be like spinning through space, like look at it from any angle kind of deal. And obviously I decided to have them rotating. It was really hard. It's kind of hard to like figure out, well, which way should I turn it now? So like here I've got some of the sunflowers. I think it's a sunflower facing the same way, kind of near each other. I'm like, oh crap. But I think it looks okay. This is maybe my favorite one that I did. Another one with only, oh, actually I think I add butterflies to this. But yeah, you only need one stamp to make something really cool. Or two. And so here for this last piece, I just did some more tea staining. So here, most things are completely dried except for that paper. And I'm just showing you all of the things that I made today. The tea stained paper. That one had the leftover from the bubble wrap. You can see the pearlescent paint on those. And also there it is, that green is the pearlescent one. It looks weird on camera, but I really like the effect when it's in front of you. The stencil with paint. I think the dark brown was a good choice because it does just look like coffee. And this acrylic, just like scraped on. Yeah, I really like it. I was just kind of saying, in real life it doesn't seem to look as good as it does on the camera, but I mean it looks pretty similar. Some more modeling paste and then all my stamped papers. Look how good that one looks. That's my favorite one, definitely. I really love that one too. The blue on blue. So strange that Passion Tea turned that paper and one other one blue instead of pink, which I was not expecting. I love when you get surprises like that when you're crafting. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to give you some ideas and to kind of prove that you don't need a lot of supplies to create things. Most of these things were, I mean, I just used a paper towel and one thing of paint for some of them. I had 2 colors of ink pads I used for the whole thing. Obviously, I have a lot of stamps, but a lot of the papers I just had 1 or 2 on there and they looked awesome. And yeah, a little bit of tea made some of these look great. Here's the blue one right behind there. That was the passion tea one too, which, look at that color. It's so bizarre. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not already so you can catch my future videos. And I hope you enjoyed. If you have any feedback for me, I'd love to hear from you in a comment. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. And here's this last one from my son who painted me a rainbow. What a sweetie. Now for you OCDers, this last clip is for you. I'm a very messy crafter, but look, it all comes off in the end. Not that big of a deal. And this last clip here is just for me. It's my son who wanted to step in about halfway through and do some painting. I left the room for a few minutes to attend to other things, and I came back and saw that he flipped it over and started painting a train. He loves trains. It was the cutest thing. And then I get him set up with another paper. But anyways, thanks again for watching, especially if you're still watching, and I hope to see you next time. Ciao.